If the CCP acknowledges a mistake, how will it rectify itself? Instead of admitting fault, it is likely to resort to more audacious actions or strategies to conceal it. Today, we will delve into the connection between the relocation campaign to the Shanghai New Region and the flood discharge of the Three Gorges Dam, providing a comprehensive understanding of Beijing's mindset. Let's start by scrutinizing the Three Gorges Dam. Three Gorges Dam faces severe challenges amidst relentless rainfall. The Three Gorges upstream area, notably Chongqing, has been subjected to months of non-stop torrential rain, which has caused a sharp rise in river levels and raised the possibility of embankment breaches. Significant damage to nearby residential areas has been caused by flash floods, mudslides, and landslides caused by the severe rainfall. The district of Wanzhou, which is located in the reservoir area of the Three Gorges, has been particularly affected by these disastrous occurrences. Ironically, the Chinese Communist Party's CCP primary goal in building the Three Gorges Dam was to lessen the effects of the region's intense rainfall. However, the dam has not mitigated the calamity as intended. On the contrary, it has made the impacts of the severe downpours worse. On July 14th, Chongqing faced severe weather, with Wanzhou district recording 219 millimeters of rainfall. Over 2,600 residents were swiftly evacuated. The Yangtze River Maritime Affairs Bureau identified 202 geohazard points, posing risks to navigation in the Three Gorges reservoir area. Wanzhou experienced its second flood in 12 days, raising concerns about regional preparedness. Earlier heavy rainfall in Chongqing, with Jiangtan town receiving the heaviest since 1956, highlights the urgent need for robust strategies to manage both immediate evacuations and long-term infrastructure resilience in the face of unpredictable weather patterns. The Chinese government has long considered dams to be a strategic asset, but with 94,000 or so aging dams, the problem is not limited to a single dam. The potential risks associated with the world's largest hydroelectric facility, the Three Gorges Dam, are creating alarm throughout the world. The structural integrity of the Three Gorges Dam is under question because it was constructed recently, in contrast to the majority of dams constructed during Mao Zedong's reign. The $31 billion dam was built with the intention of reducing the destructive Yangtze River floods that displaced 1.4 million people and affected a large area. Although the dam is a major source of clean energy, its ineffective flood control measures have drawn criticism. Experts question its efficacy and point out a number of fundamental problems. Because the dam was constructed in an earthquake-prone area, it is prone to earthquakes, and visible fissures may be caused by subpar construction materials. The risk of earthquakes in the area is increased by the sheer weight of the water contained behind the dam. Algal blooms, pollution, and poor water quality exacerbate the situation. Operating since 2003, the Three Gorges Dam has set world records for hydroelectric output. Its effectiveness during floods has been questioned nevertheless, particularly after the biggest flood peak in August 2020. Potentially catastrophic outcomes from the dam's breakdown might affect millions of people, interrupt power production, result in environmental catastrophes, and have an impact on the world economy. The Yangtze River is home to almost 500 million people. Thus, the dam's ability to withstand heavy rains and stop floods is essential. Although there have been evacuations, there are still concerns about the dam's resilience to natural calamities. Even while complete collapse might not happen right away, China needs to address underlying problems like aging dams and probable ecological effects if it wants to prevent a serious crisis. Over 94,000 aging dams in China face criticism for ineffective flood control measures. Professor Huang Wanli, an esteemed water resources expert at China's Tsinghua University, strongly opposed the construction of the Three Gorges Dam. He raised concerns about the substantial presence of loess in the region and warned that neglecting sediment-related issues could lead to severe consequences. Huang Wanli predicted that the phenomenon of the Yellow River wrestling with seven sands would inevitably result in sediment accumulation. Throughout discussions and surveys, Huang Wanli consistently submitted written opinions, offering a comprehensive analysis of the reasons why the Three Gorges Dam project should not move forward. His analysis covered various aspects, including geological and ecological factors, as well as military considerations. Unfortunately, during that time, his views were not understood or accepted by anyone, and there was a lack of willingness to listen. Huang Wanli was not alone in opposing this course of action. Several domestic hydraulic experts also strongly objected, opposing the construction of high dams and reservoirs for sediment retention. Despite Huang Wanli's robust arguments, the objections of both domestic and Soviet experts were disregarded. The 1957 conference transformed into a platform for criticizing Huang Wanli, and ultimately the Three Gorges Dam project proceeded as planned. The outgoing flow from the Three Gorges Reservoir surpassed the previous day's 24,000 cubic meters per second around 11 a.m. on August 25, 2023, according to a real-time water status check conducted on the Yangtze River water level network. The official hasn't disclosed how much money is coming in, though. The dilemma faced by the Three Gorges Dam in discharging floodwater reveals the challenges in fulfilling its intended purpose of preventing once-in-a-million-year floods. Despite being promoted as having a storage capacity of 175 meters, the dam must release water at 145 meters due to the lower elevation of the upstream city Chongqing, which is approximately 42 meters below. The consequence of maintaining the water level at 175 meters would lead to the flooding of Chongqing at 217 meters, posing a significant risk to the entire city. The decision to discharge water at 145 meters is also influenced by the questionable quality of the Three Gorges project. To safeguard against potential dam failure during the flood control period, this elevation is considered the safest water level. If the water level surpasses this threshold, it could result in catastrophic consequences for the Yangtze River basin, impacting vital cities like Shanghai. The uncontrolled flow of water and sediment downstream would wreak havoc on the middle and lower reaches of the Yangtze River, up to Shanghai's mouth. Thus, maintaining the 145-meter water level is crucial for the Three Gorges Dam's survival. This situation creates a complex dynamic between the dam and both its upstream and downstream cities. The dam acts as a mediator, relieving pressure on Chongqing by discharging water downstream when needed. However, this leads to complaints and protests from downstream cities like Wuhan, prompting the Three Gorges Dam to adjust its water release. This delicate balance mirrors the broader challenge faced by China's numerous reservoirs and associated cities, where the norm is to discharge floods during the rainy season without adequate warning. The tragic loss of lives due to these floods often remains unaccounted for, with the Chinese government manipulating casualty figures to downplay the human toll. As the Yangtze River, China's largest river, witnesses floods from west to east across its vast drainage area of 1.8 million square kilometers, it highlights the complexities and shortcomings in managing such extensive water resources. Dr. Wang Wei Luo, an expert in environmental ecology and hydraulic engineering, asserts that the flood disaster in Wanzhou district is a man-made catastrophe linked directly to the Three Gorges Dam. The dam's impoundment has raised the Yangtze River's water level in Wanzhou district significantly, impacting reservoir bank stability, especially during fluctuating flood season regulations. This alteration, along with urban development and real estate expansion, has heightened the risk of landslides. The suppression of criticism by the Chinese Communist Party regarding the Three Gorges project complicates matters. The Geohazard report on July 14th highlights severe consequences after the dam's impoundment in June 2003. Over 11 months, 4,688 collapses and landslides occurred in the reservoir area, almost doubling in 2 years. Fan Xiao, chief engineer of the Sichuan Geological and Mineral Bureau, notes a heightened period of geological hazards during reservoir filling from September to November. The attempt to reach the 175-meter water level in 2008 led to over 100 new geological hazards recorded by the Chongqing monitoring station. If this trajectory persists, significant problems may arise. Three Gorges Dam, a $200 billion marvel or potential catastrophe. The quality and capacity of the Three Gorges Dam, along with the possibility of its explosion, are subjects of far too many news stories on Chinese social media platforms. It is said that China has invested $200 billion in the Three Gorges project. In the event that the Three Gorges Dam were demolished, how would China react? With all the military presence in the vicinity, who would dare attack the Three Gorges Dam? Is it really as susceptible as pressures from other countries say? Situated in Sanduping Town, Yichang City, Hubei Province, the Three Gorges Dam is the world's largest hydraulic engineering project. It is roughly 38 kilometers away from the downstream Gezuba Water Conservancy Hub project. The Three Gorges Dam is incredibly significant historically. More than 10 provinces, including Jiangsu, Shanghai, and Guangdong, receive power from the continuous hydroelectric resources produced by utilizing the hydropower in the upper and middle portions of the Yangtze River. The Yangtze River's enormous downstream flow would endanger the lives and livelihoods of hundreds of millions of people and would even have a major negative effect on China's economy if the Three Gorges Dam were to collapse. At most, it might cause China to regress by 2 decades. In the post-liberation era of China, the vision of national development and industrialization was disrupted by the outbreak of the Korean War in 1950, diverting resources away. After 3 years of conflict, the focus shifted to the development of heavy industry, setting the stage for the Three Gorges project. In the 1980s, China's leaders revived plans for the project, recognizing its significant cost, but viewing it as a symbol of rapid development. Originally planned to raise the water level by 150 meters, debates led to a final decision of 175 meters. Construction officially commenced on December 14, 1994, and was completed on May 20, 2006, making it one of the world's largest hydropower projects. By July 2012, the Three Gorges hydropower station had become the world's largest clean energy production base, generating over 103.1 billion kilowatt-hours annually, surpassing the world record held by the Itaipu Dam. The dam's dimensions include a total length of 3,335 meters and a height of 185 meters. Featuring 32 single units, 6 underground units, and 2 additional 50 million kilowatt units, resulting in a total installed capacity of 22.5 million kilowatts. The Three Gorges Dam stands as the world's largest hydroelectric power station, providing crucial electricity support for the economic development of the Yangtze River Basin. This makes it extremely improbable that an adversary would try to attack the Three Gorges Dam with aircraft. But if the dam were really attacked, China would have to use its nuclear weapons, which would definitely cause mushroom clouds to appear over the aggressor's area. Even still, this kind of situation is regarded as extremely unlikely. No nation in the modern world would dare to openly irritate China to that degree. There are a number of reasons why the Three Gorges Dam can collapse, including damage, aging, and building errors. Exposure to natural factors such as earthquakes and water pressure can cause fatigue and cracks in the concrete, making the dam more vulnerable. If something collapsed, the effects would be catastrophic. Enormous floods would rage downstream down the Yangtze River, putting millions in peril and wreaking havoc on infrastructure, farms, and communities. There would be many fatalities and substantial property damage in this scenario. There would be a significant ecological impact, with many plants and animals dying as a result of habitats and ecosystems being wiped away. Floodwaters carrying sediment and contaminants have the potential to cause environmental catastrophes, such as water contamination and the extermination of aquatic life.